Welcome back, everybody. It is game 3 with my Rakdos Aggro-Control against some sort of breeding pool aggro control with Kagas, Kodama the North Tree, Mana Leaks, Llanowar Elves, the whole bit. I keep a hand of Shinka, Kakusho, Swamp, Frostling, Swamp, Sulphurous Springs, Kakusho. I'll keep this because 1, it's got mana in it, and I love mana, which is great. 2, it's got a great first turn play because he mulliganed, apparently, to 7, or he mulliganed to 6 rather, and he's leading off with a Llanowar Elf. I draw a Swamp, play the Frostling, and kill the Llanowar Elf. Remember, if they lay a first turn mana producer such as a Bird of Paradise or Llanowar Elf, you always kill them with a Frostling. You never want to give your opponent some sort of tempo advantage like that with the ability to have 3 mana on turn 2 to do all sorts of unfair things. I draw Persecute, which isn't great against his 3-card hand. Play a Swamp and say go. His Sakura Tribe-Elder is swinging for 1. He has Yavimaya Coast and a Minimo School of the Water's Edge in play. Plays an Island and a Wood Elf. So the man certainly has his mana going, but he doesn't seem to have much else. Goes and gets a Temple Garden. I draw a Blood Crypt, which is helping me absolutely zero. I have 6 cards and can't play any of it. This is the point where you could say I should have mulliganed, but at the same time, ouch. He just played Umezawa's Jit, equipped it to the Sakura Tribe-Elder, and swings for 2. So if you think I should have mulliganed, well, I'm guessing you're right at this point. However, it is nice to have a full hand against whatever he's packing over there. Alright, so I'm going to bring in some Solahooge action. Giant Solahooge that we call Captain Tickles around these parts. Captain Tickles. Yeah. You know the Magic Geeks. They make the funny names. That's what they do. I'm guessing he's going to swing for 1. Oh, he wants to swing for 2. I'm guessing he'll drop a creature here. Okay. 4 more. So I took 6 total. Took me down to 11. Alright, he plays Llanowar Elf. And at this point, I have got to get Kakusho online, or it's going to get really ugly. I drew a Blood Crypt. So I now have 5 mana. I'm at 11 life. I can take how many swings at this point? That would be 5 damage from Llanowar. 5, 6, 7 total is the maximum I would take. He equipped the Elf with the Umezawa's Jit, which actually just lets me get a free chump block from Giant Solahooge, which is fine by me. At this point, Persecute looks really terrible. The fact that he mulliganed alone may make a hand that you kept or was thinking about keeping because of Persecute, because you were going second, and you get to choose after they do. Because, normally, particularly in a deck like this, they're just going to dump their hand, and try their best to out-mana you and out-race you with some monster they may top deck. Because once you get in the 6-card, 5-card range, nope. He's asking any effects before damaged. I'm telling him no. So he can feel free to get some counters or pump his guy. And he chooses to pump the Llanowar Elf. He's waiting for burn that I don't have. In essence, Giant Solahooge is the most burn-like card that I'm playing because it deals 4 damage. It's also at this point in time that I realized I probably could have taken the Solahooges out because he's playing V2 Ghazi, he's obviously playing Sakura Tribe-Elder, a bunch of Wood Elves. I knew this for a while, but anyway, just the things that dawn on you as you play matchups. Okay, I'm finally going to get to lay the Kakusho. And if he's got mana leak, that's game. He does not have mana leak or remand, so I may be able to survive another turn. The problem is at this point, and with any aggro versus aggro matchup, he who has the Umezawa's Jit has such a huge advantage. It's absolutely impossible sometimes to get around it. Sometimes it's almost every time, which is unfortunate. Okay. Pumps his elves to a 3/3. Interesting. He pumped his elves to a 3/3 with one counter and then equipped to the wood elves. So I'll be guaranteed to take 5 here. Very clever. He, he pumps 1, so guarantees I take 5. He's going to pump his wood elf before damage. Put 3 damage on the Kakusho. Use the counters to kill the Kakusho, which will put me directly back at 7. He might not do that, but that's what I'm guessing. Alright, never mind. I'll take 5. Takes me down to 2. His Jit now has 3 counters. At this point, I would like to swing a Kakusho and then drop the other Kakusho. However, at this point, it's basically buying me time, but I cannot afford not to try to play the second Kakusho. So, if he's got the counter right now, then he's got the counter and I'm screwed. If he doesn't, then I have a shot. So, let's try it out. All right, he down to 5. And we're going to play the second Kakusho. Does he have the mana leak or remand? Okay, he gains some life. I want to play a Carnarium, picking up a swamp, and say go. So suddenly he's at 2, and I'm at 12. And at this point, it makes you ask yourself, should you add burn? Should you add burn to the main? Should you add burn to the side? For a while, I had some chars in the side, and then it was like, well, who doesn't love char? So I was just playing with them all the time. Okay, he takes me down to 7 with a swing. In my hand, I have Squealing Devil, Swamp, Blood Crypt, Persecute. He plays a Kega and says go. I draw, unfortunately, not much that can stop a 5/5 flying legendary dragon spirit, damn it, thing. So at this point, I have to concede to him. He's got the Jit. He had the Jit for a long time. I never drew a Phyrexian Arena, which would give me card advantage. I never drew a Jit, which would let me answer it. Even my Persecute, had I played it earlier, since I never played it, it still wouldn't have hit it and only let me know that I was in deep trouble if I didn't have an answer to it. So no Pithy Needles, no Jits of my own, no Phyrexian Arenas, and I got ran over. Unfortunately, I did get him at 2, so that's what happens. Good game, sir. Thanks for your time.